When I think about video games involving semi-trucks, I normally think about driving semi-trucks like you do in Mud Runners or ATS over on PC, American Truck Simulator. So when I saw preview images for ClusterTruck, a really chaos-filled semi-truck game, I figured it was going to be a driving game, kind of like a Demolition Derby sort of thing. But oh, how wrong could I have been? It wasn't a driving game at all. It's actually something quite different, and something much wackier than I ever thought from those first preview images. So without further ado, let's dive right into the chaos. Here's my review of ClusterTruck for the Nintendo Switch. When it comes to gameplay, I was quite surprised to find that ClusterTruck is not a driving game at all, it's actually a 3D platforming game. When you go through each stage, instead of driving trucks through chaos and crashes, you're actually on top of each truck, jumping and platforming, trying to have as little involvement in that chaos and all those crashes as possible. Now when it comes to game modes, you don't really have that much to choose from. You have campaign mode, Halloween mode, and holiday mode. And honestly, all of those are basically just campaign mode. There's the regular game's campaign mode that has you going through Halloween themed levels, and campaign mode having you go through holiday or Christmas themed levels. Now when you go into each stage, the gameplay starts and the wackiness really starts to set in. Every level has a goal to reach, and you're supposed to platform around on the semi-trucks to reach that goal. But it's not as easy as that sounds. All of the semi-trucks that you're jumping across are rubbing into each other in the environment, causing a lot of them to crash, roll, flip, and everything else involved in that chaos. Your goal is to see all the crashes coming and making sure you platform correctly so you never touch the environment, be it the ground or something in the middle of the air. And when you reach the goal area without touching the ground, you complete the stage, unlock the next, and get a lot of points that you can use to buy skills. Now at the start, this game is very difficult. It's got some intricate platforming, especially with the fact that the platforms that you see in front of you aren't always the platforms you need to go on. And before long, you're going to go from straight stages to jumping across trucks going in one direction to having to do a long jump, turn, and completely change your trajectory mid-jump. And this is where skills come in. As the stages get harder, you need skills to be able to easily go through each stage. These abilities range from being able to double jump, slow down time, or even spawn trucks in front of you to help you get across large gaps. While you can only equip 2 skills at a time, they are absolutely essential for getting past the difficulty of the game. But of course you need skill in the game to unlock them. You get points that you can use as currency when you clear each stage, but how much you get depends on how well you do, how fast you complete the stage, and how much airtime you get from your jumps. If you go through the stage the easy way by just sitting on a truck until you absolutely have to jump, you're barely going to get any points for clearing that stage, and that 15,000 you need for your first skill is going to take forever to get. And that's even more important later on in the game. As the difficulty goes up, many of the levels are going to be designed so you need those advanced skills that cost a lot more points, and if you're not getting hardly anything per stage, you're going to have to stop and grind to get those skills. This happens a lot throughout the campaign, meaning you've got lots of grinding sessions to do. While it's certainly possible to clear those stages without those skills, it's extremely difficult because the trucks in each stage don't act the same way each time you tackle that stage. You could go into the stage, sit on the default truck, and it could carry you halfway through the stage. Then when you try it again, it might carry you 2 or 3 feet through the stage before it wrecks. There are a lot of unpredictable variables that those skills will help you pass with ease. So on one hand, all of the skills will help you. On the other hand, the game encourages you to be very skillful and have to grind. Not that you'll be grinding for very long. This game doesn't actually have that much to it. You've got the 3 campaign modes that you go through, and the original campaign does have 8 worlds, but they're all very short. Including the stages and grinding, it didn't take me more than about 3 hours to get through all of the stages of campaign mode. Now this isn't an awful deal for the sale price I got it for, which was around $7, but for the full $15, I'm not sure if that's really that much content for how much you're paying. Now let's dive into presentation, which is pretty okay. The graphics are nice and smooth. I didn't see very many jagged edges. There's not a whole lot of detail to the game, but at least it does look smooth instead of really jaggy. When it comes to performance, there are some frame drops in some of the stages. Most of these aren't really big frame drops, but when they happen a lot. And for an intricate platformer like this, every frame drop can mess you up pretty easily. Now let's dive into battery life, which is pretty decent. ClusterTruck has a battery range of 4 hours and 9 minutes on high settings, up to 5 hours and 14 minutes on low settings. Now, in conclusion, this is a wacky game filled with semi-trucks, crashing, and a lot of chaos. Now, the downside, it's very short, there's not really that much for you to do, and it's got some issues with its balancing, performance, and a few other things. You could certainly do worse when you're looking for a wacky time waster, but make sure you grab this on a sale and not full price. Reviews to Go rates ClusterTruck for the Nintendo Switch a 6.5 out of 10. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.